How did I go from $0 to financially free by the time I was 40? For those of you that don't know, my name's Jim Manning, and I have founded 3 successful real estate companies now, and we actually have 2 real estate funds that have over 100 partners in them. But backtrack, when I first started looking into real estate was 2006. I was 22 years old, and I was studying it, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And while I was looking into what my next step was, I ended up getting a job for a self-made billionaire. And this billionaire did a couple things for me. The first was that it lit a fire inside of me. It was incredible to see someone that was able to start a business and become a billionaire. And this guy put one pant leg on a time. He was a guy just like me. So it put a belief in me on what's possible. And so as I was studying, as I was researching, I ended up getting a corporate America job. And I quickly figured out that that wasn't what was right for me, that I was studying this whole real estate thing. And I was getting passionate about the thought of improving a home, helping a family out, and becoming financially free at the same time. So I ended up jumping ship from the corporate America world in 2008 when I was 24 years old with very little professional skills. It took me a couple of years to get going. I did one deal in my first 18 months while I was still working in corporate America. And then you fast forward to, 3 companies, 3,500 deals and everything like that. It's been an absolute wild ride. And the first phase, because I didn't have employment, like if I was a doctor or if I was in corporate America and I was making a surplus where my expenses were $50,000, but I was making $150,000, if you already have that surplus and that you can then invest with that surplus into real estate, that's a really powerful position to be in. I didn't have that. Out of college, I had $0 and I saved up while at my first job. And so I had a $10,000 to my name when I got into real estate. Did my first flip with a partner, made another $10,000. So that $20,000 became my seed money to live off of while I figured the whole real estate game out. And I started out doing something called short sales, which were common in the marketplace then. And we are also doing property flips and buying, fixing up, and selling a property in 3 to 6 months, depending on the project. So that became my source of income. That gave me the ability to have a surplus and to pick up a rental property or 2. As our business was growing, we became hyper-focused on doing more deals because more deals meant more income, and more income meant we could get closer to that financial freedom goal, right? As we were building it, we encountered a lot of obstacles along the way. We've worked with private investors that have lent us money on the flips the entire time. And we built up the business to where we started doing 3 flips at a time. A couple years into it, and we were being successful with it, but we were limited at that point to how much money that we had to invest. And that was a bottleneck for us, and a bottleneck for our growth, and a bottleneck for our income, and which then was a bottleneck for our financial freedom, right? So then what we did to solve that problem is we went to our private lenders, the private individuals, and we said, hey, you've trusted us for a couple of years to lend us money on the purchase price, but we've been out of pocket paying for all the repairs. Would you be okay if you gave us 100% loans on the purchase price and the repairs? And because we had the track record, because we had the trust over a couple of years, all of them said yes. So when we pivoted and we shifted our model, now the amount of deals were not limited to just the amount of deals that we could afford. The amount of deals we could do were only limited by the amount of capital that we could raise from individuals. So then we decided to raise some more money. And then instead of doing 3 deals at a time, it was 10. And instead of 10, it was 20. And this decade-long approach approach of building a large flipping company began. In our heyday, since about 2012, we've been averaging over 100 flips at a time per year. And so we were growing the income. And then fast forward to 2016, 2017, we got the bright idea to go from buying 100, 150 homes a year to 300 properties that year. And at that point, the focus was, hey, how do we do more deals? How do we generate more income? Let's generate more income. Let's do more deals. Let's generate more income. Let's do more deals. And we created a hamster wheel effect. And we were just running on the hamster wheel, trying to work harder, but not making any progress to being able to get off the hamster wheel, because the amount of rentals that we were picking up at the time was one here or there. It wasn't substantial. It wasn't our main focus. So we'd only had at that point maybe 10 to 15 rental properties, right? And then we looked at each other at the end of that year and said, oh my gosh, we just bought 300 properties and we made less money than when we bought 150 homes the year before. And that was a gut wrench. That felt so terrible. Like our operations team hated us. Our family hated us because we were working so hard trying to keep our head above water and manage all the projects. And our 3 full-time construction managers hated us because of all the extra work that they had to do too. And then we looked at it and we realized, well, wait, we're just trying to get more income. And how is that increasing? How are we winning the game at that point with just more income? That doesn't get us further to our goal of financial freedom. That just creates more income. And so if you're someone that already has figured out more income, what you see on HGTV, it doesn't get you off that hamster wheel. So if you're a doctor that's made really great money, you said, oh, well, I'd love to make an extra $100,000. That just creates additional work. It creates more income, but it doesn't move the needle forward for financial freedom and for retirement. Even if you hit on that deal and you make that money, now what? What are you going to do with it? So anyway, we got to a point where we realized, well, more isn't necessarily better. And it's time for us to shift and focus on not just generating the income, but generating the income and then building long-term wealth too. And since we've made that shift, it's been absolutely incredible. It's been a beautiful blessing for our families. I'd love to see real estate bless you and your family the way it's blessed ours. I got a lot of great videos on real estate investing, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out our website. The link will be in the description here, but we have a free course on generating passive income. What I did was I said, okay, we generated $10 million in passive income here recently as a group. What were the 3 strategies that we used? So if you're like the 22-year-old Jim and it makes sense for you to actively learn how to invest in real estate, I would highly recommend that course and learn what we're up to there. If you are like a 40-year-old Jim or you have your own business and you're making great money, you're a doctor, and you have that surplus, you've already figured out that income. The next step that I would encourage you to do is to figure out how to be a passive investor. How do I get to financial freedom without doing any of the work? I have another great course on our website available for you if you're in that situation that walks down. It's called Passive Profits, a step-by-step guide to your first real estate fund investment. And it walks through how do you assess deals, whether you should be doing this strategy or not, getting clarity, and what to look out for when it comes to risks, certain risk factors. It's a very comprehensive course as well to empower you to be an astute passive investor. So check out the website, check out our other great content. Thanks for your time and attention. Have a nice day.